I didn't have a lot of people I could call at first. And so that's why, at meetings they say get phone numbers, get people that you can call that you can actually, when you're craving. And I'm going to tell you right now, usually it is not your family or your fiance. Because what's your first name?
Allie.
What's that?
Allie.
Allie? So Jerry calls Allie up and says, Allie, man, I want to rock. Oh, Jesus, I'm craving. Oh, God. Oh, whatever. Like, how's Allie going to feel?
Allie doesn't know that.
Yeah. Unless Allie's recovering, right? Okay, and even then, it's too close.
Yeah.
Therapists don't do therapy with family members because it's unprofessional and unethical because you can't be objective, right? You just don't do it. All right, you can't sponsor your spouse. Because your spouse will be like, well, you said, well, it's too close. It's way too close. And the scary thing about being in a relationship or, with dealing with family is that they have to go here to get their support, like usually at Al-Anon and like Heal over here. We have to go to our support over here, and then we come back together healthier. But it feels real scary at the beginning because it's like, oh, what's going on? We feel like, oh, And so it's a scary thing. But that person you call usually cannot be a family member or somebody that's been affected personally by your addiction, because you're just going to trigger a whole bunch of fear and reaction in them. And unless you want to volunteer for some controlling behavior directed toward you, they'll just like get more controlling, right? Start following you, doing things, and I just went on that 2-month. I went on a 11-step kind of walkabout spiritual thing the last couple of months, and I was gone, right? And then came back. And one of the people I was staying with she's 79. I've known her since she was 52, and we did an intervention on her son 15 years ago, drinking. And when I went down there, she's still codependent as hell. He's still living at home. His 5th DUI, still has a driver's license. No, his 6th, still has a driver's license in South Carolina. And they paid for all that. I mean, the man's 46 years old and has never paid a legal bill, and they keep bailing him out, right? And I stayed there 2 days, and I said, I got to get out of here. Y'all are crazy, because, all they did was, focus on him constantly if you want to drink or use. So, I had a rough weekend, because, today's Tuesday, right? Yeah. So yesterday morning, I get a call from Jean. That's my friend that was 79, right? I get a call from her granddaughter, who is the daughter of her son that they enabled for years, saying, Grandma and Daniel are dead. And I said, what happened? And she said, he started drinking on probation, got out into the car, and she chased him into the car, trying to get him to stop, get out, do whatever. They took off speeding down the road. And so this happened on Saturday morning. Took off speeding down the road, crossed the line, because like some people should never drive angry, let alone drunk, right? I'm a person that should never drive angry. That's as bad as driving drunk for me, okay? And they hit a car, and they both died instantly because they didn't have their seatbelts on. They killed the mother, two of the 2 daughters in the back seat. The father lost his left arm, had to have it amputated, and is paralyzed now from the waist down. That happened Saturday morning. Okay? Because he came home drunk and triggered her codependency, right? Her reaction. So we can't, if we're feeling overwhelmed, turn to the people that are close to us, because it's just going to trigger them. And I think it's just, somebody asked me at a meeting a few weeks ago, does codependency kill people? Is it real? I don't think codependency is real. And I said, oh, it's real. Okay? Her codependency contributed to both of them dying. Because she was like this. Danielle said, Chris, it was awful. She was chasing him around the apartment. What are you doing, drinking on probation? What did you tell? Whatever, and chase him all the way to the car, in the car, just whatever. And just he tried to push her out of the car, a 79-year-old woman out of the car. She grabbed on, shut the door, he sped off. And then she said, less than a mile down the road, they're dead. like that. You know, so we can't turn to them. So he wasn't ready. He had no motivation to get better, right? Because they kept bailing him out all the time. So this card right here, if you fill it out and use it, it works. It was one of the few things that I was actually given that, like, to interrupt, because you know in treatment all the times they'll tell you like, when you get a craving, just go to a meeting, do whatever. And I go, I can't. What if it's 10 o'clock at night and there's no meetings around? What if I'm at work? I can't just tell my boss I'm going to a meeting, right? I can't do that, but I can carry my safety card. I can go somewhere and splash cold water on my face. I can breathe. I can call someone. I can interrupt the ritual enough. My sponsor said, yeah, what are you going to do, carry your notebook around, Chris? Your treatment notebook? Everywhere that you go and just pull, well, where's that thing on managing cravings? And, you know, like, oh, you can't think like that. But if you have this in your back pocket and in your wallet, boom, it's right there. So that was the agreement he made me keep for 2 years. And he said, have you ever done it before? And I said, no. He goes, how many times have you been in treatment? 8. Been able to stay clean? No. He says, let's try something different. All right, so this is practical things that we can start doing today to actually start interrupting that. So I would encourage you this week to start filling this out for yourself. Put things in here that are meaningful to you. Like, if you had to put one place that your addiction's taking you, Eric, that you never want to go again, where would that be?
Probably downtown to some of these houses.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah. How about you, Greg?
Prison.
Prison? What about you?
I have no idea.
What's that?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Can you think of some place that's taken you never want to go again?
Not particularly. I've never been to jail. Never got locked up for drugs.
So for you, it might be more of a challenge
Yeah.
to think about some place that's taken you that you never want to go again.
Right.
See, I think it's harder for people like you to stay clean. Because if you can't think of anything right away, it has more of a power. You still haven't maybe had as many yet as some of the other people have that it hasn't happened to. It's not a bad or a good thing, okay? It just is, all right? So, you know, like, I mean, I had cancer, right? Remember I told you when I first got, like, 3 months afterwards and was on probation, and, you know, I didn't want to die. I didn't, like, you know, anybody been through chemotherapy beside me? Okay, have you? Yeah. It's not the first one that gets you, is it? It's the second one. The first one I was going, this ain't so bad. Like, what's everybody talking about? That second one kicks your ass. Oh my God, I was never so sick in my life. And the third one, I started crying. After that one, I had to go for my 4th treatment. I was just like, oh, I don't want to go. And like, oh my, it was awful. Okay? That's one of the things I put down there too. I don't want to like go back to chemo. Because that's one place my addiction took me was my immune system was so impaired. Okay, so every person can have some place that it's taken them. Maybe, like, where would you say, Daryl, for you that it's taken?
Intensive care.
Intensive care, yeah. Yeah, that is not a picnic. Can you think, Monty, some place that's taken you never would want to go again?
Prison.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so think about that. It's different. Every person's card will be different, right? And tools are only good if you use them. Right? Nobody can make you use this. All right? So if you use it, that's great. It's hard to be accountable to yourself sometimes. If you have this and have a sponsor or somebody that you work with that can actually make an agreement with you, hey, you know what? Can you help me stay accountable? I want to make sure that I have this with me. And they can call you out like my sponsor did. So that's the practicals of it. We're going to do some more practical things about improving our communication techniques, problem solving, you know, things that can actually like help us that when we get overwhelmed to like function better in recovery. You know, we're doing a lot of laying the groundwork for like how addiction affects us and what we're dealing with when we first get sober. Now, like, how do we actually deal with it so that we have more tools on our belt, things to pull from when we get that thought about using again. Okay, so, you know, can everybody just think about like, is there anybody's like, how does your addiction talk to you? What are some of the things it says to you to try to get you to come back? Can you think of anything that it says to you? Like if you're craving, like you're having a thought about using, how does it talk to you?
Don't have to go to probation until Thursday, and it's Friday
Yeah,
next Thursday, you know.
yeah, I got a week. I got a week, right? Yeah, mine did that to me
Yeah.
too.
And then you get caught up using until the very before you have to go see them and they're trying
Yeah.
to come up with excuses to.
Yeah, addicts aren't very good at practicing controlled using, are we? Or controlled lying or controlled dishonesty. Okay. So, any other ways it talks to you? Mine used to talk to me like a sexy woman. It used to say, I love you like nobody else is going to love. I'm here for you, Chris. I'll love you when nobody else will. I got your back, baby. It would talk to me like that, really seductively. You know? Other times it talked to me like, you know, a grumpy old man. Screw them. Hell with them. I'll show them, right? I call that I'll show you drinking. It would talk to me like that. Okay? Other times it was like a depressed kid. What's the point? Why bother?
Mine
Okay.
says to me, just come out and have a couple, man, and I'll let you go back home.
Yeah,
And I know
yeah.
that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like one of the boys, right? Hey, I'll get you home. I got your back. I'll make sure you get home. Okay, so we all have ways that it talks to us. So we got to start getting awareness of that and then being able to interrupt that so that we manage it instead of it managing us. And if we can normalize it, like, oh yeah, it's just normal. I'm not doing anything wrong because it talks to me today. Nothing. And then I got backup, right? Like people that get it. Well, because my sponsor said, why wouldn't you think about drinking? I said, what? He goes, why wouldn't you think about drinking? It was your world. You know, Chris, he says, it's like breaking up with somebody. Everything reminds you about that person at the beginning, right? That's where we ate. That was our song. That was this. Oh. Or like losing a tooth, how your tongue keeps going over to it at first. You know? You just have more awareness of it at the beginning, so. Cool. Fill out your card. Use them if you got them.